So let's start talking about this set from 13 to 16 now. Three athletes, Shrivosky, Lamardan, and Pomar. So now I would be addressing them by S, L, and P. Reached the finals of the Mavis Cup badminton tournament. Each athlete played one match against the other two players. So from here, I can say that there are only three matches which are going to be there. One is between S and L, one is between S and P, and one is between L and P because every player is playing against each player exactly once. Okay, let's move on. Now, there is some more information here that there are some rules of the game given. There is only one game in a match. The first player to score 21 points wins the match, considering there is a difference of 2 points between the score of two players. In case there is not a difference of 2 points, when one of the players get to 21 points, the game goes on till there is a difference of 2 points between the two players. That is 21-20, 22-21 are not final scores, but I mean the person can win at 25-23. This is exactly just like it happens in a game of badminton. You must have seen that 21-20 is not a score at which a person can win. If there's a gap of one, that is not allowed. There has to be a gap of minimum two. Only then a person can win. So if it is 21-20, the match moves on. If the person with 21 gets another score, 22-20 is the point at which he wins. Otherwise, if it is 22-21, still it is not possible. 23-22, not possible. That way it goes on. The player who wins more matches wins the tournament. In case there is a tie for the number of matches won between players, the player with higher positive points difference. What is positive points difference? Points for minus points against. So he says if there is a tie, that means if there are two players who have won the maximum number of matches, in that case, points for minus point against, whoever is having that highest, he would be the winner. So that is the information that we have got till now. Now, the table given below shows the number of points scored by and scored against the three players in the two places. So these are the points for and points against. I'm starting with let's say this first three matches. One is between S and L. One game is between S and P, and one game is between L and P. Let us assume now that between a game of S and L, A points were scored by S and B points were scored by L. Now the point is, S has scored a total of 45 points, out of which he has scored A against L. So can I say remaining 45 minus A, he would have scored against P. So we have used this number of 45. Similarly, when I talk about L, L has scored a total of 40 points, out of which he has scored B against S. So the remaining points, that is 40 minus B, he must have scored against P. So this also we have used. Now when I talk about P, what can I use here in case of P? In case of P, what can we say? That P has scored a total of 43 points, and against P, there are 41 points scored. So here I see against P, 45 minus A points are scored. Here against P, 40 minus B points are scored. So let us say that 45 minus A are scored here. So if I use this 41, I can find the number of points here against P as well. I mean, this is one way of doing it. What are the other ways of doing it? The other ways of doing it are that if I talk about S, against S, B points are scored here, and against S, the remaining points will be scored here in the match against S and P. So using this 45, I can also get this score. So there are various ways. We can use any one of them. I am using this one. The reason is it is simpler for us to find out. I mean, there are B points scored against S in the first match. So in the second match, how many points are scored against B? It is 45 minus B. 45 minus B would be scored against B. But we also know that against L, 42 points are scored. Against L, 42 points are scored, out of which A points are scored here in the match of S and L. So the remaining 42 minus A points are scored against L in this match. So this also has been used. So we have not used 43 or 41 yet. So you can use any one of them, whichever you feel like. So if I say Pawar has scored 43 points now, so how many points have been scored by Pawar? 45 minus B in this match plus 42 minus A in this match. So the sum of these two scores should be equal to 43. This gives me A plus B is equal to 87 minus 43, that is 24. So A plus B is 24. That means in this first match between S and L, the score line should be such that A plus B should be equal to 24. I'm sorry, it is 44, not 24. Should be 44. So if two scores are, it's a score line of a match and the two scores add up to 44, what can they be? Can I say the only possibility is 21 and 23? Why? 22-22 is not a possibility because 22-22 will make them equal. No one can win. And if I talk about something like 2024, the point is, why did we have 2024? This is a gap of 4 points. But the moment there is a gap of 2 points, a person wins. So 24-20 can never be the score line. I mean, till 21, we can have a score line like 21 minus 19, 21 minus 18, 21 minus 17, 20 minus 16. So from 21, a gap can be more than 2. But after 21, you can't have a gap of more than 2 because the moment there is a gap of 2, the person who has a gap of 2 wins, right? You do not need to go to 23 in that case because the match would be over by then. So therefore, by that logic, I can say 21 and 23 are the only two possibilities for A and B. But yes, we don't know which one is 21 and which one is 23. Let's try with anyone. Let us assume S is 23. I mean A is 23. If A is 23, then B would be equal to 21. If B is equal to 21, this 45 minus B would be 24. This 42 minus A would also be 21. And this 40 minus 21 would be equal to 19. And this 45 minus A, that is 45 minus 21, would be equal to 24. There is a problem now. We have a match between S and P, which is showing a score line of 24-24. That is not a possibility. And therefore, I will just rule out this scenario and I'll go with the second scenario. Of course, that has to be the final scenario now. That is, what if A is 21 and B is 23? If B is 23, this score would be 22. If B is 23, this score would be 19. If B is 23, this score would be equal to 17. If B is 23, this score would be equal to 22. Once again, we have a problem of 22-22 over here. So I think I made a mistake in the previous case because this case is also not satisfying. If I take A as 21, B as 23, 45, oh sorry, I'm sorry, 45 minus 23 is 22, that's correct. 45 minus 21, I'm sorry, this is 24. 45 minus 21, it is 24. 40 minus 23 is 17 and 42, yes, this was the mistake. Because as I said, this is not a possibility that I do not have any of the two cases being satisfied. So ultimately, what is satisfying here? 21-23, 24-22, 17-21, because there were only two cases. First case was anyways ruled out. This is the second case. So that becomes the final case on the basis of which we can answer all our questions. Let's have a look at the questions. I have already written this table over here, which is the final case satisfying. Who won the Mavis Cup? So in the first match, I saw that L won. In the second match, I saw that S won. In the third match, I saw Pawar won. So all three have won equal number of matches. In that case, the point difference was important. And if you look at the point difference in the original table, Shrivosky has a difference of 0, Lamardon has a difference of -2, and Pawar has a difference of +2. Whoever has the maximum difference, he wins. So that means the winner of this game must be equal to Pawar, and that is the final answer for us for this question. This question says, whom did Pawar win against in the Mavis Cup? So Pawar win against Lamardon in this match. You can see here actually Pawar lost by 22-24. In this match, Pawar won by 21-17. So against Lamardon, he won. So therefore, the answer for this question is Lamardon. This question says, what was the score line of the match between S and P? So between S and P, it was the second match where the score line was 24-22. So B option is the correct answer. And finally, it says, what was the number of points scored by Lamardon in the match between S and L? So between S and L, this is the match. So Lamardon has scored 23 over here, whereas S has scored only 21. So the answer for this question is 23. And I would say this was a pretty easy set. Everyone should have attempted this set during the mock time as well.